Welcome guys in this new video. In this video I'm going to show you it's a simple tutorial about using default game engine. In this video I'm going to show you how to create a 3D control, and also I'm going to show you how to use camera 3D from the plugin called Scene 3D. I'm going to show you the installation of the plugin step by step, and I'm going to show you the code to move your player in a 3D space. So let's start. You're gonna find the link of these assets in the description, which you're gonna need to use to create a scene 3D and use the camera 3D and render 3D. Using this plugin for default, it's making easier to make 3D games. So the first thing is we're going to copy this link. Then we're gonna go to the default editor, which we're gonna use this link and use this plugin as a library. So let's go to default. So after copying the plugin and opening a new project, a new empty project inside the default editor, we just gonna make like this one a dependency, which we're gonna add a new thing like this, and let's paste the link that we just copied and click enter and control save. Then after this we're just gonna need to fetch the library, which will be automatically fetch, and you're gonna have it here, which is called Scene 3D. You're gonna open the main.collection and let's start. The first thing that we need is to add the camera 3D. But before it, we just need to go to here, bootstrap. If you just open it for the first time, you're going to have the default.render, so just change it to render 3D. And also for the physics, change it from 2D physics to 3D physics. Then just save the game.project and let's go to the main.collection and let's add a new game object file and add camera 3D. Just click control and left click and we have it. Now we're just gonna use it like this. Let's just make it over here because we're gonna add a ground. We're gonna use the assets inside the plugin, which are game object file, and let's just write building and let's use the one of the biggest building, which is this, and let's just make the camera a little bit higher like this, higher, which is like this. You just need to make the camera as you like, and now we're just gonna add a new game object. Let's call it player. Inside it we're gonna create the component model. We're gonna have a new mesh. We're gonna use cube mesh. For material we're gonna use the model material, which is this one. For the texture you can use any texture you like. I'm just gonna use the white.png, which we're gonna put the player a little bit here. Gonna control save it. We're gonna create a new script here by creating new and script and just name it player like this one. We just delete the other function and we're just gonna need the init and on input function. Let's go back to main.collection and inside it add the player.script as a component. Now let's start scripting. The first thing we need is to write message dot post, and aqua is we're just gonna here point, and the message ID will be, we need to call inputs. We need to use inputs to move the player, so we're just gonna need to acquire input. This tutorial we're gonna use simple movement, not advanced. For advanced movement is going to be in future, which is gonna use vectors and trigonometry in the math, but this is just for new for programming or new for game development and people that want to make 3D games inside the default and the ultimate game engine for 2D and also 3D. So the first thing you need to do is to create inputs inside the game dot input binding. I already created. You're just gonna need to choose the input or the key you want to use, and here we're just gonna name it like I name it here. We're just gonna control save and let's go. You can use mouse, and if you want to port your game to Nintendo Switch, which you can do it inside the default game engine, you're gonna use the gamepad and also a lot of things. So let's go to player, and we're gonna use this name in our code. If you don't have the name, if you don't have this name, the code, you can't use inputs. So the first thing we're gonna create is if action, this code is important, action ID is equal to hash, and we're gonna use the first thing is forward. Then let's write the code. We're gonna create a variable, so local position or pose is equal to go. Go is game object. It's an abbreviation for game object, which you're gonna use often to create inputs and animation as here, and for cancelling and deleting the object and a lot of things. So we're just gonna use get position. We're gonna create pose dot, since it's a 3D game, we need position dot z. It's forward, so it's the z axis. It's not like Blender. They just make instead of using the Z position for forward and backward, Blender used the Y position, and the Z position use it for up and down. So it's not a big difference. So equal to pose dot set, and let's make it minus 0.2. Control save, and here we're just gonna write the same thing. Else if you can just like copy and paste and change something in some variables and some things, but it's better to write if you want to create more games in the future. You will need to learn the code and you will need to use a lot of codes. Oh, I just forgot something, so go dot set position to position like this. It's easy and it's good. So back here we can use back, so back, and then we're gonna use the same thing here. We're just gonna copy it. It's better that you write it. Control V. Then we have a build error here because I didn't write, and I just clicked in the build button, so it's the same thing. We're just gonna make here plus, so control save. We're good just to wait. Let's just copy this. It's for, we don't want your video to be more than 20 minutes, so instead of Z, let's make it X, and also here. And here is back, let's make it right. And here is going to be minus because it's for the left. No, let's make it X. And here also X. Let's change this one to left. So just control save. And now after you make the camera good, and let's now try to build the game. So now after making the code and everything, you just watch, it's moving. Before building the game, don't forget the renderer. Don't forget to change the renderer in the game.project from default to render 3D. If you didn't, the rendering for 3D is not going to work. So this is our video. I hope you liked the video, so goodbye.